Good day, gentlemen. James Marshall here with another infill breakdown with a lovely Irish girl that I met on the streets of Budapest. So let's get into that. Excuse me, lady. Hello.
Hi.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. What are you doing today?
I'm just going to the shopping center.
Very basic, textbook day game start to this. And excuse me, telling a girl that she looked nice or lovely or something, and then waiting for her response. So there's nothing fancy going on here, and day game does not need to be fancy. Often, if I see something specific about the girl, I might adjust the opener. But when in doubt, go and tell her she's lovely, looking gorgeous, looking pretty, adorable, cute, or something like that. It works. So why reinvent the wheel? Now, so there's nothing fancy in the words that I'm doing here, but what I want you to notice is the vibe that I bring into this initially, and then carry on throughout the interaction. I'm slow-paced, I'm chill, I'm allowing these little pauses in between each thing that I say for her to have her reaction. A common thing I see with guys is they roll in there, excuse me, I saw you from over there and I think you look lovely, what's your name, what are you doing today? If you're gonna give her a compliment, allow her some time, a moment, to absorb it and respond to it, right? So I said, she looks lovely, pause, well, thank you very much, that's very fucking nice, you're a lovely young man. I'm going to be using my Irish accent quite a lot in this video, guys, so get used to it.
How about you?
Getting some sunshine.
Yeah, that's good because it's hot.
All right, so then she asked me a question. Always a good sign if the girl asks something back. Nothing fancy again. She just says, and what are you doing today? Now, instead of me saying, I'm walking around or I'm going to the shops or or I'm filming infield or something like that, I give her a little evocation of what I'm feeling right now. I'm enjoying the sunshine. What does that say about me? I'm the kind of guy that enjoys a bit of life and a bit of sunshine, right? Which is a sort of slightly non-linear way of answering the question. Yeah, it's lovely, huh?
Are you Australian?
Yes.
I can tell from the accent.
Well done. Your accent is, are you British?
Irish.
You're Irish.
Yeah.
You do not look Irish. So in all my years, there's 4 or 5 things I'm pretty good at in life. And one of them is doing accents of especially English-speaking countries. I can do Irish very fucking well, thank you very much. I can do a Scots one. Welcome to the Rock, have a nice day. I can do a Ras South African. Because, colour is very important and it's not about segregations. They have their place. No, okay, I'm sorry. I know that all white South Africans are not the races, but it's just funny for me to do. I have to entertain myself. Anyway, what I've discovered is that in all my years, whenever I find a girl with an accent and then I show her my killer accent back, it makes zero difference and she doesn't think it's cool at all. I'm going to keep doing it forever because I find it amusing, but it doesn't help in any way. So if you're good at if you're bad at accents, don't do them. If you're really good at accents, also don't do them. Let's keep going.
No, because my parents are from the Middle East, but
Yeah.
I grew up in Ireland.
That's such it's interesting hearing that voice coming out of clearly not an
Yeah.
Irish face.
Yeah.
So you can't see it from behind, although you can see it from behind, huh? I know what I'm talking about. All my butt guys in the back row, you know what I'm saying? Yes, she had a very Middle Eastern face, but with this very strong Irish accent coming out. And so I'm just noticing things about her and actually engaging with what's happening in real time as opposed to having a plan of like, okay, now I need to move into the qualifying phase or into the connecting phase. I am connecting, right? The idea of having an emotional impact, which is my third principle, is not necessarily about saying, so how do you feel about that and what are your core motivations? The emotional impact that we have with somebody is showing that we get them or we're learning to get them rather quickly. And that's what I'm doing here by, discussing her heritage. Yeah, nice.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, right. Cool. What's your name? How do you do? I'm James.
What's your name?
James.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. And do you live here or are you traveling?
No,
or
I just came here to holidays.
like solo?
I'm meeting my friends tomorrow, but today, yeah.
All right, what am I doing here? I'm finding out what's going on for her. So she's clearly not Hungarian. So I'm starting to source basic logistics. Not Hungarian, therefore, what's she doing? She's traveling here. And I didn't say, are you here alone? Are you here alone? Traveling solo, right? And then she says, my friends are coming tomorrow, but I came here early. This is important information if you're dealing with traveler girls, because often they are traveling in pairs and threes, and so it can be hard to kind of extract them from their friendships groups. But in this situation, Cool, we found out that she has a single night alone. Why do girls go somewhere alone? I wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you.
How about you?
I live here sometimes, in Portugal sometimes. So,
Oh.
yeah, I've left Australia many, many years ago. It's so easy for a girl to be a good conversationalist. All she has to do is say, how about you? This girl's good. She's asking me, how about you? She said that twice, and now I'm talking about myself. Well done, she knows what she's doing.
Why?
The weather was too good, the beaches were too nice, the people were too chill. It was really...
Yeah, I'm like, why would you go?
I was just like, that's it, guys. I'm going to Eastern Europe where things are grumpier. Okay, she's Irish, and Irish are funny. And so she's asking, why did I move here? With that, like, why would you move here when Australia's that postcard destination? And so I have a bit of fun with it. Having a bit of fun. It's a good thing to do, especially with a girl who's light and playful, and that's the feeling I'm getting with this kind of girl. Maybe if I'd said that to a staunch Belarusian and said it's because the weather's too nice and the people are too chill, she was like, this is not logical. But she gets it, and I'm having some fun. Therefore, probably she will too. No, I just basically, for business.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, and one thing though, if you are going to do banter, you need to know when to release the banter, right? So I do my little joke about how Australia is too nice to live in. But if I then continue to play on that, and then it would start getting cheesy and lame. So then I revert back to the logic of it, which is the real reason why it is that I live in this part of the world, which is for business, legitimate business. Oh. Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And which way are you headed? Oh, you don't know where you're going,
That
do
way,
you?
I'm just following the map, and it's that way.
Oh, yeah. Have you been to the bathhouses yet? Now, if I wasn't filming on this day, I would have then just asked to join her. Right? I didn't want to get into it because what's she doing right now? She's exploring the city because she's got a day off. So, that's an ideal thing which you'll meet from time to time. People who are just killing time or wandering around. Perfect chance for an instant date. So, if I hadn't been on camera and out grinding out my sets, I would have said, oh, well, cool. Shall I join you? I can show you around a little bit, and we could have had an instant date from there. But as it is, I moved on.
Not yet. Is that the thermal baths?
The thermal baths. Oh, there it is again. I said thermal baths, and I was very pleased with myself because I can do an Irish accent. She doesn't give a fuck. Yes, the thermal baths.
No, haven't been there yet. No, I literally landed today, so...
It's a must-do. It's pretty much the best thing to do in this city.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard like mixed reviews about it. Some people say it's not nice.
What do they say?
That it's just smelly.
Well, it smells like... I mean, it kind of smells a bit like sulfur because it's natural, so yeah.
Yeah,
so yes. Okay, so what's happening here is very, very mild discord, which is actually a good thing to have in an interaction. I don't want to be necessarily agreeable with everything that a girl says. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to shut things down. But nice guys nod and smile and agree with everything. So if she'd said, I'd said, oh, you should go to the bathhouse. And she said, I heard I heard they're smelly. And I go, oh, yeah, you're right, actually. Who needs baths anyway? Smelly bathhouse. No, like I stick to my guns, and we're having a very mild debate about whether it's good or not to go to the bathhouse. And this is not about something that's on our core ethics or something. It doesn't matter, right? I'm not particularly invested in whether she goes to the bath or not, or on music tastes, or whether you like this flavor of ice cream or whatever. It doesn't matter, but we can have a little discord. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And she says vanilla. You go, oh, that's so boring. It's like they haven't even finished it. They haven't even put the flavor into it yet. And then we can have like a fun debate or a little argument about something that doesn't matter. It's good because it keeps people on their toes and also shows that you're not a supplicating nice guy. But, if you go to the Széchenyi one, which is the outdoor one, then it doesn't...
Yeah, that's the most popular one, yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. You get to lie in a hot bath in old Austro-Hungarian surrounds and...
I hope it's sunny too, so...
Yeah, well, you can do it. You can even do it when it's snowing because it's hot. So,
yeah, that's true.
I'd say in this weather, it's better to go like kind of sunset.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And I win. I convinced her in the end that it's worth going to the bathhouse. Even, if you listen to the subtleties of it, even where she's saying, it's good to go when it's hot, I'm like, well, actually, you can even go when it's cold. Right, so this is a guy who has an opinion. This is a guy who's actually solid in himself, and she says 3 times, that's true.
Thanks, I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah. How does this work with the things on the teeth?
They're gems.
Okay, so this is the point where, I don't know, maybe a novice would then start explaining where it is and what time it is and get lost in the bathhouse conversation. I'm like, all right, that's enough. let's move on to something else. Now, what I've noticed, you can't see obviously, but she has cemented to her teeth these little diamonds. And obviously I noticed that while we're chatting. And so I decided to cut the external conversation about some tourist location and bring it back to her. What's the deal with the diamonds on your grill?
Gems stuck on.
Right.
They don't come off. They don't come off.
You've committed to that for life.
Unless I get them removed, yeah.
Right. Okay, well they look cool.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very
Thank
cool.
you.
All right, so it's basic qualifying framework here. What's the thing? She explains what it is. I'm like, so that means you're going to have it for the rest of your life. It's a soft challenge. And then she responds, yes, here's the deal with it. And then a release by qualifying and saying they look cool. I could have said something else because they look more than cool. They looked, I don't know, fucking unique. Maybe I could have chosen a better word there. But I generally tell students good responses to a girl is not that's cool or that's awesome. So I probably could have been a bit more creative there. Very bad boy.
Yeah.
And so what's the story with you're a second generation, I guess? Okay, so now I'm remembering, so you can loop back to any topic that happens in a conversation. Sometimes you kind of skim past topics because that's what happens. People are chatting and things, go in tangents. But I'm always listening and not just listening to the words in real time. I'm signposting certain things where I'm like, oh, that's a thing to return to. So at the beginning, I found out that she's a Middle Eastern family that, now is obviously brought up in Ireland because of her Irish accent. And then I return to that. What's the story with that? And it's like, okay, I'm guessing. So again, I'm interpreting the information that's been given to me, which was initially my family's from the Middle East. Then I'm going to guess, okay, well, how many generations? It's probably a second generation because she's brought up there. So this shows that I'm actually insightful enough to make a correct guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel Irish?
I do, yeah, because I've been there all my life, so...
Are you funny?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Because all Irish people are really funny. Okay, so I could have, finding out that, yes, okay, there's the information. She was brought up here all her life. What could I have said there? Oh, like all sorts of other kind of boring questions about, and do you ever go back to your other country or, I don't know. There's all sorts of things I could have asked which wouldn't have been as good. But I go straight to the fact and then move to her feeling. Do you feel Irish, whatever that means? She says yes, because she's been there all her life. And I choose the thing that I've noted about Irish people, aside from their alcoholism and tendency to bomb your horse and kneecap you. Joke. I'm never going to get in trouble with this video. I know it, and as I should. Cultural stereotypes abounding. But instead, it's like, okay, now I'm challenging her, qualifying her on the characteristic that I think is one of the important and awesome things about being Irish, which is they're all fucking funny.
Yeah, and the British, the humour is definitely different from the rest of Europe.
I think the British humour tends to be more sarcastic, whereas the Irish is a bit sillier. And again, not immediately agreeing with the thing that she said. I've said they're funny. She says the British are funny as well. I'm like, yeah, well, the British are funny in a different kind of way. In the somebody farted and I feel embarrassed, and tend to be quite sarcastic to each other. And so I'm like, yeah, but I think there's a different shade of humour that goes on with the Irish.
Yeah. Definitely there's sarcasm there too.
Yeah. I think I always got on better with Irish and Scots, and I guess because Australians, a lot of us were.
Yeah, a lot of them are Irish anyways, the ancestors.
From way back. Although mine are Scottish, but I've also got Eastern European in me as well. Yeah. Here I just kind of waffling, I'm just kind of, the Scots and the Irish and something. This is kind of filler. No, this is a moment where I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. But it doesn't matter, right? I'm not stressing out about it. I'm just going, the Scots and the Irish and the Easterns. And what am I just trying to say here? As I'm thinking, where are we going to take this next? Pickup doesn't need to be perfect. It very rarely is. Probably my best pickups in my life have been full of errors, technical errors, but the overall vibe is I'm chill, I'm cruising, and I'm moving this through somewhere, and I'm responding and relating to what's happening in real time. As a result, overall, the feeling that she's going to get is one that's good. She's not going to be going, there was that point at about the 67% point of the interaction where he didn't seem to know what he was talking about. She doesn't care. Yeah. And what do you do in Ireland?
I'm a project manager. I work. So I have a degree in biochemistry, and then I just went in the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, okay.
How about you?
So I ask what she does. She works for Big Pharma. And I would have followed up with something about, so how does it feel to work for one of the most evil industries on the planet? I would have said that. But I didn't have a chance because she immediately says, and how about you? And so it gets derailed to talking about me, which is fine. This happens in conversations. And I could maybe return to that later and say, okay, so what's it like to work for Big Pharma? Because you know what they say about them, but it just doesn't happen. I'm a life coach.
Like, life coach for what? Like a therapist or?
No, I'm not a therapist. So she asks what I do, and I say I'm a life coach, and I don't expand on anything. And this is where I just put in a vacuum of silence and pressure. Now, on any other time, I might have said, I'm a life coach and I do this and this and that. You know, I film girls on the street and put it on the internet. But no, I deliberately put, because I know that we're hooked here. I know that she's engaged. She's been asking me questions. We've got good banter going on. So it's good for me to now slow things down a bit and create a bit more of this vacuum. So you see that as I don't respond, I just look at her. She's like, life coach, like a therapist, or what is this actually? Because she's filling the vacuum, and then I can release it with the information. I mean, I basically deal with public speaking, with social anxiety, with posture, body language, with lifestyle design. So I help a lot of, let's say, digital nomads to construct lives that work. All the ways that James Marshall explains to a girl that he's a dating coach without lying, without telling her that he's a dating coach.
Oh, that's so cool. So that's what you do here?
Yeah, I mean, I work remotely and I also travel a lot.
That's so cool.
This is one of my bases. And then I also grow olives in Portugal. That's my side thing.
Oh, we're in Portugal.
In the north. Well, no, it's mid. Bad game on this girl's behalf, right? So whenever someone brings up a fact and you ask them for another fact, right? I've told her that I'm a part-time olive farmer, and she chooses to ask me where in Portugal. If that was a student, I'd say, why did you ask that? Because it doesn't matter where in Portugal it is. So she loses a point for her game, but that's okay. Do you know Portugal?
A bit, yeah.
Do you know Coimbra?
No.
Yeah. Well, it's basically in the countryside. It's in a valley. All right, so she knows Portugal. I'm like, do you know the place? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, this is not relevant. It doesn't fucking matter which part of Portugal I have my olive farm in. The mistake would have been to say, oh, well, it's 20 minutes from Coimbra and it's in the north, south, and there's something irrelevant. So we just move on to the important part, which is me showing her that I have something else aside from my job, right? So you don't have to have an olive orchard in Portugal to sound like you've got a life. This is a good thing to do, especially let's say you work in something that a lot of people might perceive to be not that interesting, being a coder or being in finance. I know those are important things, but they sound boring to people who don't know what they are, or they're just like, I don't know what a software engineer does. They make the internet work. So it's good to say, I do this, and I'm also into this, right? So I have some other interest or side hustle or project that I'm working on, just to show that you're a well-rounded human being, and there's other things that we can talk about aside from just the job.
You just own a land there?
Yeah, I got an old house and orchards of olives, which I make olive oil out of.
That's so cool.
For the fun of it.
Yeah. Do you sell it?
No, I make like about 100 litres a year, which is enough to give away and have endless olive oil, but not enough to sell.
Not enough to sell.
No, it's more like it's a passion thing. I come from a farming background in Australia, and I like nature.
That's your cue.
There you go, is my explanation. And is this a humble brag? Maybe, but I'm not overtly bragging about it, right? And I'm being like, let's say, a bit different. What's the word? The self-deprecating about it. Just like, it's a passion thing. Do I have enough to sell? No, but I got enough to have plenty of olive oil. It's something I like, coming from farming. Yeah, well, that's what we do. I'm not. So be a little bit careful. If you've got a really cool thing in your life, undersell it a bit. All right, let her tell you that it's really cool. Make it that it's just a side thing that I happen to do. And I own a game park in South Africa. And it's no big deal. You got rhinoceroses. It's just a thing that I do.
That's cool. That's really cool. But it was nice meeting you. I'm gonna head home because I have a lot to do today. Right.
So she now wraps up the conversation, and I can't see it now looking at the video. I can see that the crossing has started, like the lights and she's going, okay, now I'll go with this group of people. I've seen this so many times with clients. A conversation has gone well. This is a good conversation. all indications are that this is going well. And then the girl says, all right, well, cool, I'm going to head off now. And the guy perceives that as a rejection. He's like, oh, okay, well, she's leaving. So, and then they just walk away. And anytime they do that, I say, run the fuck back over there, young man. Jump in front of her again and say, hey, I forgot to ask you, can I take you out for a bloody drink? And so many times it works, because if people are going somewhere, they're still going somewhere in their head. She's like, okay, and she's a tourist. She was going to go and see the museum or whatever she had planned to do. She's had a chat with a man. Okay, that was fun. And now I'm going to continue on with my day. So don't take that as a rejection. It's just the fact that people are doing stuff, and she's not going to ask me out. So she's like, all right, well, that was a nice chat. I guess I'll be moving on my way. That's the time that I pick up immediately and go, all right, well, let's close this. You've got a lot to do. All right, cool. How long are you here for?
I'm here until Wednesday.
All right, cool. Would you like to grab a drink sometime?
Yeah, I'm done, yeah.
All right. So again, just a little bit of more logistical information, because I already know that she's arrived today, her friend's arriving tomorrow. I want to figure out how much time we've got in a really casual way that doesn't sound like I'm trying to, find that information. Once I found that we got a couple of days in town, I'm like, cool, how about we do this? And without pause, she's like, yeah, I'm done. Right? So there was a yes, just waiting for me to just ask for it, whereas a lot of guys might have thought, oh, okay, she rejected me, and let her walk away. Let her decide if she wants to meet you again or not. You got to ask. It's really important. So many times I've seen this. Guys just drift away when an interaction was going great, and there was a yes waiting for him to ask for it. And another reason why sometimes guys do that is it's because it's almost a fear of success. It's like, this went really well. We had a nice conversation. She thinks I'm a nice or good gentleman. She enjoyed that. I don't want to ruin it by asking her out and then having to deal with the cringe of her. They're going, oh, no, sorry, I've got a boyfriend, or no. And so they'd rather, probably subconsciously, have a nice chat than take a girl out on a date. I am looking for yeses and nos. That's what I want to hear from a girl. I don't want there to be ambiguity. I don't want to not know what was going to happen, right? So I'm always going to ask if I like the girl and it's going decently. I mean, I don't always ask, because sometimes I'm chatting to her. I'm like, she was hot, but I don't like her very much. But I like this girl, so I'm going to ask. All right, cool. Have you got WhatsApp, I presume?
I do, yeah.
All right. You will have to remind me of your exotic and exquisite name.
I'll type it and then,
Yeah, good idea. Oh, hello. No, that's not, I don't know you. So I choose to give her a compliment about her name, which I can't tell you, but it was an exotic and exquisite name, so that's a nice thing to say. And then some teenage girl just kind of walked into the interaction and poked her head around and go, are you my brother? And I'm like, what? I don't know who that is. And so I just noted that thing. Hello? What? No, I don't know you. And then she walked away. Whatever that was, don't know. It doesn't matter. All right, you can do the honors. So you see that I'm just solidly opening my phone, opening the contact or something. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm not filling all that with stuff. Lots of times guys are like, oh, just WhatsApp, haven't been using this very often. And, oh, there we go. Oh-de-doo. Just kind of making noises about them using their phone. It takes as long as it takes to open the thing and write the name and whatever. And then I hand her my phone, and I almost always do this, because what I don't want to be doing, especially with a name that's not Sarah and that has 4 syllables, is getting her to spell it out and then to speak out +3 5 9. Don't do that. Just hand her the phone and tell her to put the number in. Do you drink like an Irish person? As she's putting her number in, I'm not looking at her. And this is another common mistake I see. They hand the phone to the girl and the guys are just staring at her. And she can see that in her periphery. I'm just gazing out to the horizon, to the brave new future ahead. And then I decide to just ask her one more question for the fun of it. Do you drink like an Irish person?
No,
good.
I don't have the tolerance for that.
Oh, good, because I can't keep up with Irish people, so.
No one can, even I can't.
Oh, no. Yeah, everyone there is either an alcoholic or a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah, or on the route to be
on the way. All right. So put in the comments, the Irish people, is that racist? Is that a vast generalisation? As I say that the entire nation of Ireland is either an alcoholic or a recovering alcoholic. That's a terrible thing to say and a absolute stereotype. I'm very sorry to all the sober Irish out there, and then probably most people yeah, it's true, we're all fucking drunks. Same with Australians. Most countries are full of drunks. It's how people cope with being alive. Everyone's drunk. Where?
Yeah.
All right, that's plus what in Ireland?
353.
353. 353, there's me doing my accent again, and she doesn't give a fuck, but I like doing it. I've done that a lot in this episode. If it's irritated you, unsubscribe. I don't want you here. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can. Okay, awesome. So, yeah, I'm James, and
Nice to meet
I'll
you.
text you and
Yeah.
have a good day. And I highly recommend you go and have a bath.
I will.
You
do
will not
that.
regret it.
I hope not.
All right, see ya. And then I give her a handshake, tell her to go have a bath, and I go about my day. So, hope you enjoyed today's breakdown. That was a fun interaction. I like it when a girl's got a bit of sass and can play along. It's enjoyable. And if you too would like to learn how to do this, to be able to approach women in everyday locations, to do it in a chill and relatively simple way without having to memorize any crazy lines or without having to be able to deliver scintillating, witty banter, to just get the basics and do them very, very well, like a good Italian dish that has 4 ingredients, but they're all awesome and it tastes amazing. Then you should consider joining me for one of my upcoming live workshops. Coming up from the 20th until the 26th of July, I'll be teaching in this here city, which is Lisbon, Portugal, my new home, which I'm loving being in. We just ran the first workshop here last week, and it was an epic success. This is a great city for meeting women from all around the world, full of tourists, locals, and Brazilians, lots of Brazilians. So if you'd like to join myself and Gareth Jones and Virag Tierra and another special guest coach, then you should click the link in the description. You can get on a free discovery call with us where we'll chat to you about your particular situation, give you a bit of free coaching and see if you're the right fit for us and if we're the right fit for you. And there's only 3 spots left and my workshops are selling out really fucking fast this year, which is cool. So if you want to make this happen this year, then get off the couch, get away from the internet, stop watching me pick up girls and come and do it yourself. Link in description. Have a chat with us. Hope to see you on the first day of the workshop. And if not, see you in the next video. Peace.